All right, let's jump right into this incredibly powerful explainer of Jim Rohn's classic teachings. But hey, right at the top, make sure you hit that subscribe button for the Fastbook channel. You definitely don't want to miss out on this life-changing wisdom. By subscribing to Fastbook, you're literally taking the first step on a journey to totally transform how you look at your anxieties, your daily habits, and yeah, your wallet. The material we're diving into today breaks down some of the most fundamental, timeless principles for personal growth, and it does it in a way that's just so accessible, whether you're 5 or 50. It's all about taking life's massive complexities and shrinking them down into simple, actionable truths. So here's our roadmap for today. We're going to cover 1. Overcoming the worry trap, 2. The seasons of life, 3. The magic of discipline, 4. Financial independence, and finally 5. The wealth allocation rule. Let's get into it. Starting off with Section 1, Overcoming the Worry Trap, Breaking the Cycle of Fear. Look, you simply can't build wealth, or discipline for that matter, if your mind is weighed down by fear. We have got to tackle this massive trap of worry first. The source material actually calls worry a disease of attitude. It's this mental killer that drains your energy and just sabotages your dreams before they even get off the ground. Think about it. Worry isn't usually an immediate physical threat, right? It's more like a deceptive mental movie playing in your head. It's a broadcasting station that constantly runs distorted ads, tricking you into thinking the elevator only goes down. It's like constantly revving a car engine that won't start. Eventually, you're just going to drain the battery completely flat. So how do we beat it? Well, you literally have to put your fears on trial. You throw your worry right on the table and dissect it like a surgeon under the bright light of logic. Don't let your mind just feed on fake realities. Once you actually argue against these false facts, you realize that like 90% of these imagined disasters will never actually happen. And when you stop letting worry use you, you can start using that exact same mental energy for actual constructive problem solving. It's incredibly freeing to look at a terrifying what-if scenario, apply simple logic, and just watch that fear completely dissolve. Moving on to Section 2, The Seasons of Life, Navigating the Inevitable Changes. Once we stop worrying, we can actually start dealing with reality through a really comforting lens, the seasons of life. Just like nature cycles through predictable phases, so do we. Hardships, or winters, are totally natural. They're inevitable. A modern winter might be losing a job, going through a bad breakup, or, a tough economic downturn. But instead of complaining, we've got to use these winters to prepare for the spring of opportunity. You can't stop the winter from coming, but you can definitely learn how to handle it better. You get wiser, you read more, you grow stronger. That way, when spring finally arrives, maybe a new job opening or a chance to start a business, you are totally ready to plant your seeds and take massive action. There's this great quote from the source. God, help me see things as they are and help me see them better than they are. This perfectly captures the balance of accepting the harsh reality of winter while using your faith to see the potential of spring. You shouldn't lie to yourself, right? Don't pretend weeds aren't growing in your garden. See the weeds for exactly what they are, but, and this is absolutely crucial, you've got to have the vision to see the beautiful, thriving garden you're going to build once you roll up your sleeves and clear them out. Okay, Section 3, The Magic of Discipline, the bridge between goals and results. So, seeing an opportunity is absolutely useless if you don't possess the magic of discipline. I mean, you can have all the knowledge in the world, read all the books, go to all the seminars, but without discipline, that knowledge just sits there, gathering dust. Discipline isn't a part-time job. It's not a sometimes activity. It's the continuous, daily bridge linking what you know directly to your actual success. Procrastination is that little voice whispering, do it later or just do enough to get by. But discipline is the steadfast voice demanding you do it right now and do it to the absolute best of your ability, every single time. The reality is you have to choose one of two pains in life. The pain of discipline, like waking up a little earlier or reading a financial book instead of watching TV, weighs mere ounces. But the pain of regret, man, looking back years later, wishing you had started, wondering what could have been, that weighs tons. Sure, discipline feels a bit tough today, but the heavy sorrow of looking back with regret is so much worse. You've got to choose your pain. And mastering this magic doesn't start with these massive, heroic leaps. It begins with incredibly simple, everyday choices. We're talking about making your bed, reading for 30 minutes, or just paying your bills on time. It's a round-the-clock thing. You can't be hyper-disciplined in your business but completely neglect your health or your family. It just doesn't work that way. A lack of discipline in one tiny area will eventually leak out and sabotage the big stuff. It all starts with the small things, because if you can't conquer the small things, there's absolutely no way you'll conquer the big ones. All right, Section 4, Financial Independence, Unlocking Your True Potential. With worry defeated and discipline built, you're finally ready for the ultimate reward, true financial independence. Now, some folks feel a little guilty about wanting wealth, but the source material makes a fascinating argument against that guilt. The goal here isn't to be greedy or toss your morals out the window. It's about pushing your personal capacity to its absolute limit. Whether your utmost best earns you $5,000 or $500,000, it's about not settling for less than what you're capable of. If your absolute best effort brings in $50,000 a year, that is phenomenal. The real tragedy is when someone who is capable of so much more just settles, simply because they lack the discipline to push themselves. The source also teaches us to happily pay our share to society. You have to feed the societal goose that lays the golden eggs. I mean, think about it. Taxes help build the roads and schools we literally use to run our businesses and live our lives peacefully. And speaking of living, we need to pass these active, entrepreneurial lessons onto my kids early. Teach them a business mindset. Have them buy a bar of soap for $2 and proudly sell it to a neighbor for $3. Get them comfortable with commerce, value exchange, and providing a service. That simple childhood lesson builds a rock-solid foundation for lifelong financial confidence. Which brings us to Section 5, the Wealth Allocation Rule, a blueprint for every dollar. So how do we actually manage all that money once our disciplined effort starts bringing it in? Look, it's not just about how much you make, it's about what you do with what you make. Without a plan, you'll end up broke no matter your income. But with an exact, actionable blueprint, you protect your future. The rule here is simple. Live on 70% of your income and systematically split the remaining 30%. Give 10% to charity to help those struggling. Use another 10% to create active capital. Buy something to sell at a profit or fund a side hustle. And finally, put the last 10% into savings and investments. Let the magic of compound interest work for you. And let's talk about that first 10% for giving. It takes just that 10% starting when you're young, and it's literally just 10 cents out of a dollar to build a lifelong, joyful habit of generosity. Listen, it is incredibly easy to give away 10 cents from a dollar, right? You don't even think about it. But man, it is a whole lot harder psychologically to give away $100,000 from $1 million if you haven't built that giving muscle from the very beginning. Start with the 10 cents, build the habit now, and it just becomes a joyful part of who you are. So I'll leave you with this. Will you choose the pain of discipline or the pain of regret? As you sit with that profound question, make your choice for discipline today. And absolutely make sure to subscribe to the Fastbook channel right now so we can guide you through even more of these life-changing explainers. The choice is entirely in your hands. But remember, the cost of discipline is light, and the rewards are absolutely magnificent. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you in the next one.